Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my top 10 favourite highlighters. If you've been following me on my channel for a little while, you probably know that highlighters are my absolute #1 favourite makeup product. I just can't seem to get enough of highlighters. Whenever a new company brings out a new highlighter, I just have to get it. I don't know what it is. I think it's just I love the look of really beautiful glowing highlighted skin. So I have a lot of highlighters, but I've narrowed it down to my top 10. I just love looking extra highlighted and glowing. I just think it finishes off your makeup look perfect and just makes your skin look absolutely beautiful and dewy. And that's what I'm all about, having dry skin. I love my skin to look more dewy and glowing. So highlighters are definitely a must in my makeup routine. So if you'd like to see what my favourite top 10 highlighters are, then please keep watching. So just before we get started with my top 10 favourite highlighters, there are a couple that I just want to give an honourable mention to. They are limited editions, so that's why I didn't include them in my top 10 because they are unavailable for purchase at the moment. You can probably still try and get them on like eBay or something, but you'll pay a ridiculous price for them. So I really pray to the heavens that these companies come back with these highlighters because they are probably my top 3 highlighters, and it just really saddens me that they're limited edition because I would really love to be able to purchase them again, and I know that a lot of people were raving about these, so I think they should definitely bring them back and make them permanent. The first one is by Estee Lauder, and it is the highlighter called Heat Wave. This is just such a beautiful, amazing highlighter. First of all, the packaging. I absolutely love Estee Lauder packaging with the gold. I just think it looks so luxurious and beautiful. And so this is the compact here. It has a nice big mirror up the top. It does come with a little brush, and then this is the, whoops. Just leave that out. And then this is the powder here. You can see how beautiful and glowing that is. Oh my god, when this came out I literally wore it to death, and I just loved it so much that I've had to stop myself from using it because it's limited edition and I know I can't replace it, so I put it on the back burner, but I still love to bring it out for special occasions here and there because it is an absolutely beautiful highlighter. So that is the colour there. So you can see it's a beautiful champagne gold highlight. This is my favourite type of colour for highlighting. I just find when I have more of a tan skin that this colour just looks absolutely beautiful and just gives your skin a really natural golden look. So these types of colours are right up my alley, and the Estee Lauder Heat Wave is just incredible. It swatches so smoothly, and the formula of this is almost like a mousse texture powder. It's very creamy to touch, and it's very easy to blend, so I don't find it looks patchy on the skin, and this one isn't overly glittery as well. So Estee Lauder Heat Wave, if you were able to get your hands on it, I would definitely keep it for special occasions only because it's too beautiful to waste. And the next 2 highlighters are from MAC. These 2 are just incredible. I worked at MAC Cosmetics for nearly 4 years, and so many people came in asking for these, and it was just so painful to keep saying that they were sold out. Whisper of Guilt came out quite a long time ago, and I just do not understand why they haven't made it permanent because every single person that I know wants this highlighter, and if you weren't able to get it, it's just so impossible to find. People spend ridiculous amounts on eBay just to get this, so I definitely think they should bring it back permanent. And the second one here was in a recent collection a few months back, and it is called Oh Darling, and this one is just such a beautiful, intense, bright gold highlighter. So first of all, Whisper of Guilt is the Extra Dimension Skin Finish formula, and this is my favourite type of highlighter that MAC creates. I just find it to be so incredibly smooth and creamy to touch, and it just blends out beautifully on the skin. And this is such a beautiful, slightly bronzed golden tone, and I just think that this looks absolutely amazing on all different skin tones. So Whisper of Guilt is definitely a cult favourite highlighter. So you can see that paired next to Estee Lauder Heat Wave. They might look quite similar on camera, but in person, the Whisper of Guilt is slightly darker, a little bit more of a bronzed golden shade, but the pigment of these is just amazing. So Whisper of Guilt, if you were able to get your hands on it, I would keep it for as long as possible without using it too much because it is definitely one of the all-time favourite highlighters in the makeup industry. And then next we have the Oh Darling highlighter. So this is my backup one. I did bite the bullet and buy 2 because I knew it was limited edition, so I have one that I'm regularly using, and then this is my backup one, and this is also the Extra Dimension Skin Finish formula, so I just love this formula. And this one is a little bit more of that brighter illuminating gold shade, so this one is just absolutely beautiful as well. And so this one on the end is the Oh Darling. So they do look very similar on camera, but I promise you in person they are slightly different to each other. The Oh Darling would be the lighter one of the 3, and it's a little bit more gold, whereas the Heat Wave is a little bit more champagne and Whisper of Gold is slightly more bronze. So these are probably my top 3 favourite highlighters, but unfortunately I can't include them in my top 10 because they are limited edition, but I just wanted to show you guys what they look like, because if you were able to get a hold of them, they are absolutely beautiful, and I'm really praying to the gods that they will bring them back and be permanent, because they are just incredible, beautiful highlighters. Okay, so moving on to my top 10 favourite highlighters, and the first brand is my definite top favourite highlighter brand that is not limited edition at the moment, and it is the highlighters from Becca. These are just such a beautiful formula, and I'm just so in love with these highlighters. I do have quite a few of them, but these are definitely my top 3. So the first shade here is called Moonstone, and this is such a beautiful light champagne gold tone. This is really good for paler skin tones. It looks so beautiful and so glowing and not dark on lighter skin tones. I know it can be hard to find a really nice highlighter if you're paler skin. When I'm not tanned, I do have quite pale skin, so Moonstone is definitely my favourite one to use. So that is the swatch there of Moonstone. You can just see it's like such a beautiful iridescent soft champagne gold. The formula of Becca highlighters is incredible. They are so soft to touch. They blend out amazing. They do have a little bit of glitter to them, but nothing that's too chunky or anything like that. I'm not a fan of highlighters with too much glitter in them, but this one just gives a really beautiful radiant sheen on the skin. So this first one here is called Moonstone. And the next shade we have here is Opal. This one has got to be one of the most talked about highlighters for quite a while. It's just such a beautiful colour. This one's a little bit more of a champagne pink tone, and it just looks amazing on all skin tones. I think this is definitely the most popular one from Becca because it does suit so many different skin tones, so it's definitely a must-have highlighter. And so that one there is Opal. So you can see it's just a little bit more of that champagne pink tone compared to Moonstone, and it's just such an incredible and beautiful highlighter. I do love to use Opal more for an everyday highlighter because it doesn't look too intense on my skin tone, so I find Opal is really nice for more of that natural glowing look to the skin. And then the third one here, leaving the best till last, is Champagne Pop. This has got to be my favourite highlighter of the moment. I've been wearing it constantly every single day for the past few months. I just keep reaching for this one. I don't know what it is about it, it just looks amazing on the skin. I'm wearing it today as my cheek highlight down the centre of the face and as my inner corner highlight, and I just can't stop reaching for it. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the perfect amount of gold without being too dark or too bronze, so that's what I love about it. When Jaclyn Hill collaborated with Becca to bring out this colour, it just went insane. Like every single person was talking about it on YouTube and on social media, Instagram. It was just everywhere, and for good reason, because like she said when she was developing this, she wanted a colour that was going to match every single skin tone, from very light up to darker skin tones, and I believe this would work for everyone. So Champagne Pop is definitely my number one right now. And this one on the end here is Champagne Pop. So you can see it's a really beautiful soft champagne gold, a bit darker than Moonstone, which has got a little bit more of a silvery tone to it with being a champagne gold as well, but this one's just a little bit more true gold, and I am just so in love with the colour. I just think it looks absolutely amazing on the skin. Just gives such a radiant, glowing, beautiful look. So Champagne Pop, I'll definitely try it. If you haven't tried it out yet, you will not regret it at all. So next up we have the Balm, the Merry Luminizer. This one has been a cult favourite for a while as well, and for very good reason. This is the most intense highlighter that you will find. It is crazy pigmented. You only need to use the tiniest amount on your brush and you just get a magical looking highlight to the skin. If you want to look highlighted to the heavens and you want an extreme intense highlight, this is the one that you need to get. I have to be careful with this because mine's a little bit broken, so I'm afraid it's going to all fall out, so I'm just going to hold it up like this. But you can see that this is such a beautiful soft champagne gold highlight as well, and it's just so incredibly beautiful. I love using this one especially as an inner corner highlight. I just find it just looks so incredibly brightening and just makes your eyes look so much more awake. So I love using that especially for my inner corners of the eyes. So that is the shade there. You can see how intense and pigmented it is. The formula of this is so incredibly buttery and smooth. You only just have to touch your finger in it and you can see how much product I've still got left after swatching it because it is so pigmented, but it is such a beautiful highlight. I highly recommend the Balm Merry Luminizer. So now I have these two highlighters from Anastasia Beverly Hills. When these first came out, I jumped on them so quickly because Anastasia is just such an amazing company, and the highlighters just looked incredible when I saw them. So I did pick up all the colours, but these two are my favourite shades. The first one here is my favourite one, and it's called So Hollywood. You can probably guess why, because it's more of a gold tone. Yes, I do love the gold tone highlighters, I can't help it, and this one is just insanely beautiful as well. I really love the detailed pattern in these. I'm hoping you can see that on camera, but it just looks beautiful. So the packaging of these is amazing. The colour is just insanely pigmented as well. I find this one's just got the perfect amount of sheen without being too intense or too glittery, so I really love the formula of these Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighters. And this is the So Hollywood highlighter. I would compare this mostly to Champagne Pop in terms of it having a little bit more gold to it than some of the other highlighters like the Mary Luminizer, but I just find it so beautiful, so radiant looking on the skin, and I just think it's amazing. And the second shade here is called Starlight, and this one would be similar to Becca Moonstone, probably a little bit more on the silvery pearl side, but this one is beautiful for paler skins, and I just think it looks amazing to give that really nice soft pearlescent glow to the skin. And so this one on the top here is Starlight, so you can see it's a lot more of a pearly silver toned highlight than So Hollywood. They are just both so beautiful, and I really love these Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighters, and I would highly recommend going out to try these. Next up we have the Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Duos. When these came out, I was very excited because they do have a bronzer and a highlighter in them, so I was really excited to pick them up. There isn't a lot of highlighting compacts that have a bronzer and a highlighter in them, so when these came out, I decided I had to pick them both up because I really loved both colours. So the first one here is number 1, and this is a bit more of a pinky pearl toned highlighter with the bronzer at the bottom, and I just fell in love with this colour. I'm not usually a fan of more pinker tone highlighters, but this one just looked really beautiful. It's just got a really nice iridescent pink, so it's not too over the top pink or anything like that. So this one looks beautiful on all skin tones as well. I can definitely wear this when I have more paler skin and when I have tan skin, so it does look amazing on all skin tones. So that is the swatch there, so you can just see how beautiful and iridescent that colour is. It's got a really nice beautiful pink sheen to it, and I'm just in love with this colour. It's definitely something I wouldn't usually try, but when I tried it out I absolutely loved it. So definitely try out different types of highlighters, and you might be surprised which ones you actually do like and might suit you better than you think. So this one is the Makeup Forever Sculpting Duo number 1. And then this one is number 2, which is more of the golden tone highlighter, and I took a chip out of the bronzer and I was really sad about it because I'm a bit OCD like that. I hate anything having chips or cracks in it, but I tried to smooth it over as best as I could, so anyway, it still works. This one is just the most beautiful gold highlighter. I really love the detail of the packaging of this one. She's got really nice cute little dots throughout it, and it just makes it look extra special and luxurious. So I really love this vibrant gold shade. So there is the number 2. So you can see that that is definitely a little bit more of a darker gold bronze tone. So if you have more medium to darker skin tones, I think this colour would work really well for you. It's a lot more of a subtle highlighter. I don't find this one to be too bright or intense on the skin, so if you like something more natural, these ones will definitely be up your alley. So I really love the Makeup Forever Sculpting Duo highlighters. Next up we have the Laura Geller Gilded Honey highlighter. This one was raved about quite a lot, and I do really love this highlighter. The reason why it's not my top one is a few reasons. The size of it, first of all, this is quite expensive. I believe it's about $22, $23, and it's quite a small size highlighter compared to say the Anastasia one. Like, you can see the size difference. So the Laura Geller one's a little bit smaller. It's probably really good for traveling, but in terms of the price and the size of it, I find it just to be a little bit less than the Anastasia ones and the Becca ones as well. And this is called the Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator. So you can see in the packaging it's got this really beautiful swirl pattern to it. It's a very pigmented highlighter, so if you like pigmented highlighters, you're going to love this one. And I find this colour to be very true gold. It doesn't have a lot of champagne or bronze to it. It's very much a true gold, so it looks beautiful on the skin. I like wearing this one when I've got more of a tan, and I just find it comes out with a really beautiful gold sheen on my skin. There are a few other shades that Laura Geller has recently brought out, so I'm interested to try those out as well because I do really like the formula. It's very smooth to apply. It reminds me of the MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish, and I really love the formula of that, so I'll be trying out a few more of these highlighters, I think. So there is a swatch of the Lauder highlighter, and it is more of that true gold shade, but very beautiful, very smooth, very easy to apply to the skin, and it's quite a radiant highlighter. So this one would look beautiful for that more of an intense highlighted look. So next we have the Bobbi Brown highlighter in the shade Bronze Glow. Now I believe this has recently been made permanent. This was the limited edition packaging when I bought this in a summer collection maybe a year or two ago, and I absolutely love this highlighter. I love when Bobbi Brown brings out new highlighter collections because they always have amazing packaging, so this one was no exception. See that colour? This is the most beautiful bronze gold highlighter I have ever seen in my life. It is so amazing. I can only wear this when I have a tan though, so that's why it's not more at the top of my list, but it is absolutely beautiful on more of a tan skin, so this just gives the most amazing glow to the skin. So that is the colour there, so it's just such a beautiful bronze tone colour. I like to wear this as more of a bronzer topper as well, so if I'm looking for something more of a natural glowing look to my skin, I'll put on my regular bronzer first, and I'll apply this just over the top of the apples of the cheeks and blend it up backwards, and it kind of applies as a bronzer highlighter in one. So that's what I really love to use this one for in particular. And the formula of this is super creamy and super smooth as well, so I love the Bobbi Brown highlighters. I do have a few of the shimmer bricks, but this particular one is definitely my favourite. Next we have the Hourglass highlighters, and my absolute favourite one is called Luminous Light. I do have a couple in the highlighting palette, but this is definitely my absolute favourite highlighter from Hourglass. I'm yet to try their strobing powders, so I'm really interested to see how they look. So I will try to get those very shortly and try and see how they work out for me, but so far this highlighter is just beautiful and amazing. So this is the colour here. This is just the most amazing, beautiful champagne pink toned highlighter. I love using this on brides, especially when I'm doing freelance makeup. This highlighter just gives the perfect amount of a really beautiful soft glow to the skin. It doesn't look too intense, it doesn't look too pigmented or bright or anything over the top. It just looks really natural and just gives your skin a really beautiful glow and natural look to the skin. So Hourglass highlighters are perfect for that. The formula of this is very soft to touch, and it just feels like you're just not even touching the product because it's so incredibly soft. I'm not sure if you can see that swatch. It is very faint because this highlighter just melts into the skin beautifully and just looks so incredibly natural. So it's a little bit hard to see on my hand because I do have a few swatches rubbed out. This is definitely my most natural highlighter I have. If I'm going for a very subtle and natural looking makeup look for the day, I will definitely use this one because I don't want to go too intense with my highlight, and this one just looks the most radiant and beautiful and glowing. So now I have a couple of drugstore highlighters, and my favourite ones are by the brand called Sleek. These are just absolutely beautiful. They are highlighting palettes. This one here has a few cream highlighters and a powder highlight. And this one here is the newer palette that's just come out, and it does have all powder highlighters in it. So this first palette here is called the Precious Metals palette, and I love the packaging of these. The really beautiful metal finish to these just makes them look way more luxurious, and these are really affordable. I believe these palettes were about $13 Australian, so that is really good value for getting 4 highlighters in this palette. So these are the shades that come in this palette. This one here is the only powder highlighter, and these 3 here are creams. This one here is my absolute favourite. I love using this to apply on the cheeks with my finger first for just a very natural dewy highlight to the skin, and then I like to add a powder highlight on top just to give a more of an intense highlighted look. So the formula of these is very creamy and very smooth, and because it's a drugstore highlighter, I was quite surprised at the pigment. It is very pigmented. Usually some drugstore brands, the highlighters can be very light and they don't really show up as well on the skin, but these look beautiful and they just come out amazing on the skin. So those are some swatches. This one is the cream highlighter that I showed you I really liked, and the top one is the powder highlight. This is a little too dark for me. I would more use this as a bronzer, but if you have a darker skin tone, this would be a beautiful highlighter. So the formula and the pigment of these are amazing for a drugstore brand, so I would definitely recommend the Sleek highlighting palette in Precious Metals. And this second palette here is the newest one that's come out, and it is called Solstice. The packaging of this is incredible. I love anything gold, and this just caught my eye straight away, and I just think it looks so luxurious and beautiful. So So those are the colours that you get in this palette. There's a beautiful bright yellow gold, a really nice champagne pinky tone, and a really nice lavender type shade up the top here, which I thought was really interesting. And then this one is more of a pearl finish. This palette was raved about by Jacqueline Hill, and she mentioned this shade here called Equinox, and everyone went crazy for it. And this is just the most intense highlighter I have seen from the drugstore. This particular colour, it was just beautiful when I tested it out at the store. It does have quite a bit of glitter to it though, so if you're not a fan of glittery highlighters, you might not like this. I was surprised that I actually did like it because I'm not usually a fan of glittery highlighters, but this just looks so intense and amazing that I could definitely forgive the glitter. So this palette is extremely good value, and the colours in here are really amazing. These are just so pigmented. That was one quick swatch on my hand and the colour is just so intense. The bottom one here is Equinox, which is more of that champagne tone, and the top one here is more of that lavender light iridescent purple colour, and they are just crazy pigmented. Like, you are going to look like you were highlighted from outer space if you wear these. They are so beautiful. If you're wanting an intense highlighter, I would definitely recommend trying out these sleek highlighter palettes. So now moving on to some cream and liquid highlighters, and the first brand is definitely my absolute favourite for liquid and cream highlighting products, and it is Benefit, and these are my two absolute favourite. The What's Up is my all-time favourite cream highlighter, and then High Beam has got to be one of my favourite liquid highlighters. This is just a small sample size and it's going to take me quite a long time to get through it, so I really love the colour and the formula of both of these. So first we have the What's Up, and first of all, the packaging. Benefit definitely has some of the best packaging in the makeup industry. It's just so incredibly beautiful. So on one end here you have a little sponge applicator that you can use to blend out the cream highlight. And then up the top you just take the lid off and you can wind up the product. It's a really beautiful champagne peach tone highlight. I am just so incredibly in love with it. You can apply it straight to the cheeks, but I like to apply it to my finger first and just blend it all onto the cheek area, and either keep it natural with just the cream finish, or I'll apply a powder highlighter over the top and it just intensifies your highlight to the next level. It's so amazing. That is a swatch. I'm hoping that's coming up good on camera. I do have quite a lot of highlighters on my hand at the moment, but this one is just such a beautiful iridescent peachy pink tone highlight. It is absolutely amazing. If you're looking for a cream highlighter, I would definitely recommend the Benefit What's Up highlighter. And next we have this little guy, a mini little High Beam. This one is just so incredibly cute. It looks like a little mini nail polish bottle, and with the brush that comes out of it, it does look like a nail polish. This highlighter is just phenomenal. I absolutely love it. It's a really beautiful soft champagne pink tone, and this just gives such a glowing look to your skin. So when you open the bottle, it just has this little tiny brush here that you can apply straight to the cheekbones, but I usually like to apply a bit on the back of my hand and use my finger to then apply it on the skin. So there is a swatch of this. You can see this is just such a beautiful baby soft pink tone highlight. It is so amazing, and I love using this in the summertime when I want to have a really glowing look to my skin and a dewy finish. I love using liquid and cream highlighters, so I definitely recommend this one by Benefit, the High Beam highlighter. And last but not least are my favourite liquid highlighters, and these ones are by NYX, and they are the Born to Glow Liquid Illuminators. These are so amazing. If you're looking for a cheaper alternative to the Benefit highlighter High Beam, I would definitely recommend the NYX ones. The quality of these is amazing, and they are really good value in price. I believe these ones are about $8 or so really good value for how much product you get in these as well. So the first one here is number 1, and this one is called Sunbeam. So this is very similar to the Benefit High Beam Liquid Illuminator in terms of the colour. It's a really soft, beautiful, light pink tone highlighter. So the packaging of this is really easy to use. It's just a twist off lid. You can just easily squeeze out how much product that you're wanting. So that is a swatch of that one, and this just looks so beautiful. I really like to use this underneath my skin before I apply foundation. It just gives such a beautiful radiant glow to the skin, or you can even mix this into your foundation because this formula is a little bit more sheer than the Benefit High Beam one, so it would definitely work as an illuminating base to your skin as well. So This is such a beautiful colour, and this was number 1 Sunbeam. And it just got really sunny all of a sudden, so it was looking very overcast before, and now it's sunny, so typical. But this last colour here is the number 2, and this is called Gleam. This is a little bit more of a rose gold tone, and this just looks incredible. This would definitely be more suitable for medium to darker skin tones, because it is a little bit dark for me when I have paler skin, but when I have a tan, it just looks beautiful. So I really love this colour. So you can see this one at the bottom here. You can just see that really beautiful rose gold iridescence to it. It is so amazing. I love using this one in summer. If I want a really nice bronzed glowing look to my skin, this one is perfect. So I really love these NYX illuminating liquid highlighters. So those were my top 10 favourite highlighters. I really hope you enjoyed this video. You saw some highlighters that you were maybe thinking of purchasing and got a little bit more of an idea of the shades and a review of those. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to my channel down below. I have plenty of more videos coming soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.